is Rebecca Starzyk, and this is my presentation on Rachmaninoff. Rachmaninoff was born April 1st, 1973 in Russia and died March 18th, 1943 at his home in Beverly Hills of skin cancer. He was a post-Romantic era and early 20th century composer. His grandfather was an army officer and talented musician. As a young man, his grandfather studied under the Irish composer and pianist John Field, who lived in Russia for many years. He loved music, but he could not pursue professionally because he would have lost his social standing in society. His grandfather did become an accomplished amateur pianist, practicing up to 5 hours a day until his death. Rachmaninoff's father inherited most of his grandfather's talent as a pianist and also the family's wealth, but unfortunately he was irresponsible and careless with the family's money and ended up losing all of the family's properties, including their prime residence, resulting in his parents' separation at age 9. Rachmaninoff's mother was the first to teach him piano at the age of 4, and though she may not have been as talented as his father's side of the family, she was very level-headed and persistent about his musical studies. He had 3 sisters and 2 brothers, and he was number 5, and his sister Helena was the only other child to possess musical talent. She had a remarkable contralto voice, but unfortunately died at the age of 17, right before her first professional appearance in an opera. After the split between his parents, Rachmaninoff earned a scholarship at St. Petersburg Conservatory, but he was not very serious about his studies and was failing out, so his mother asked his very talented cousin, who had studied at the Moscow Conservatory under Tchaikovsky and Rubinstein, and had also just returned from a 2-year period study with Franz Liszt, to listen to Rachmaninoff play, and he instantly advised he be sent to study under his very strict and disciplined former piano teacher at the Moscow Conservatory, which is where he truly developed his skills as a pianist and his start as a composer. In 1992, Rachmaninoff graduated early from the Moscow Conservatory and was only the 3rd person ever to be awarded the Great Gold Medal for his one-act opera, which officially gave him his reputation as a great composer. He went on to become a free artist and wrote some of the most famous pieces in his early years, including the most famous piano piece, Prelude in C-sharp minor, and his Fantasia for 2 pianos, which he dedicated to the living memory of his fatherly friend and faithful advisor Tchaikovsky after his passing. In 1995, Rachmaninoff became so popular his confidence was at its highest and his pride was untouchable. St. Petersburg had heard he had written his first symphony and asked that it be debuted there, which he confidently accepted. Unfortunately, the performance by the musicians was poor and unrehearsed, and it was said that the conductor was drunk. St. Petersburg News wrote that if there were a conservatory in hell, Rachmaninoff would gain the first prize for his symphony, so devilish are the discords he has dished up before us. His first symphony was never performed again while he was alive. It was not until after his death that it would be performed once more. For the next 5 years, Rachmaninoff went into a depression and had no interest in composing until he finally met with a doctor, who was the only person who could pull him out of his mental shock and into recovery. By 1901, he began to feel inspired to write once more and wrote the Preludes for Pianoforte, Opus 23, which I will be talking about number 5 later on. In 1902, he married at the age of 29 to his first cousin, Natalie Satin, and they had 2 daughters. In 1904, he was commissioned to conduct opera at the Grand Theatre Opera in Moscow and became known as an excellent conductor. He relinquished the position after only 2 years to focus on his true passion, which was composing. In 1917, Rachmaninoff and his family left Russia to escape the revolution and ultimately moved to America, where he primarily focused on performing as a way to provide for his family. America was so enchanted by him that he only composed 6 of his 39 compositions during this time due to the high demands of performances. He gave his last recital on February 17, 1943, and ultimately passed away from skin cancer 4 days before his 70th birthday. As you can see, there is a YouTube link for this piano piece. This is Prelude in G minor, Opus 23, number 5. This piece is written in G minor and consists of an ABA format with a coda. In the A section, both of the hands consistently move back and forth between the melody and accompaniment in a striking rhythmic pattern, which makes the melody very memorable. The B section consists mainly of lyrical and passionate rolling arpeggiated chords based on the dominant seventh chords, moving in major thirds in order to contrast with the minor opening theme. The piece is written in common time with a march-like rhythm and repeated 16th notes on the offbeats, which seems to suggest a drum roll that then leads to a powerful climax. Thank you very much.